You're very welcome to our chair yoga class. So this particular class will emphasize movement of our hips, of our legs, which includes the knees, the ankles, and the toes. So this is particularly emphasis on that. Good. So I invite you now to make yourself comfortable. If you need something underneath your feet, for example, if you're sitting on your chair and the feet wouldn't actually be touching the ground, then I would definitely recommend to put something like a cushion or a block underneath your feet so that you feel the feet are actually firmly on the ground, which will help our legs and also in general to sit more comfortable. I also recommend, because we are moving the toes, that you, if it's okay for you, to actually keep your socks off, so that you have freedom for your toes to move as much as they as they can without the restrictions of socks. So you might consider that even for the next time, maybe not today, but maybe for the next time. So first of all, making yourself comfortable. So feet firmly on the ground, the buttocks firmly on the chair. If you can sit to the front of the chair, maybe do that. But if you need support for your back, then sit as far back as you can, so that you get good support from your back. So you're not just leaning back, so the back is the backrest, chair rest is right there and your back. So settling yourself into that comfortable, supported pose. So the feet are firmly on the ground, buttocks firmly on the chair. And then allowing the trunk to lift a bit, so creating a long spine with a sense of ease in your back. So don't overdo it. Lifting from your heart space. Allowing the shoulders to release away from the ears, and your hands can rest somewhere on your thighs or into your lap, whatever is comfortable for you. Allowing the head to be at ease, resting with ease on top of your neck. And getting a sense of your whole body here, sitting in this moment, well supported, but at the same time upright and tall. And then from this position, allowing the breath to deepen a little bit. So slowly let your breath come in through your nose and let your lungs fill up completely. First going all the way down to your navel, and then keep filling up the lungs all the way up to your chest and to even collarbones. So you really feel the trunk is expanding with your breath in. And then this long, slow, almost like a relief, like a sigh, letting the breath flow out. Ideally out through the nose, but if for whatever reason that is not possible here today for you to breathe out or in even through your nose, then breathing through the mouth. But the nose is actually perfectly designed for our breathing. So again, just take another few rounds, 2 or 3 more rounds, filling the lungs to capacity, feeling full of breath. And then this long, slow, extended breath out. And just notice that when you breathe out, that the spine stays tall. There's no need to actually collapse in our trunk. Yeah? So really keeping the spine tall and upright, even with the exhalation. So another 2 rounds. Breathing in, long, slow and deep, filling the lungs to capacity, and a long, slow breath out. And one final round. And this breath at the beginning of each of your practice helps to just calm our mind a bit, calming our nervous system, and this is important, especially so that we can stay more present for our practice. So we're not rushing into the practice, because often we injure ourselves because we might be rushing. We might not be listening to our body carefully. So this kind of, settling and just giving yourself a few deeper breaths like this, just letting the body and let your mind become more present for our practice. So becoming aware now of your feet. And we're going to start with the right leg. So if you stretch your right leg out a bit to the front, and we're going to move the toes here. So bending and straightening the toes. And as you straighten the toes, see if you can actually spread them apart a little bit, so that you want to make space between each toe. So a few times, see if you can just play around with the toes. You might pretend you're going to play the piano with your toes. See if you can move the toes individually. Is that possible? And even the little toe, bringing the little toe really back to life, into your awareness here. Even if there's not much movement, you can maybe just bring your mind to it and see what's possible. Good. And then we're rolling the ankle joint. So here, keep the leg steady, rolling the right ankle. See kind of nice big circles. Ankle joint moving. You might feel a little bit of cracking sound sometimes in the joints, which actually is not a problem. As long as it doesn't hurt, it's not, it's not a real problem. So go the other way. It might be just releasing a little bit of tightness there. So sometimes it can be almost a relief when something cracks a little bit. So nice circling. This, of course, also stimulates the circulation in your legs. So it's a great little practice. Good. And then shaking out, foot bit. And then let's bring the toes back behind the chair as much as you can. And then forward again with the heels stretching away and the toes pointing up towards your face. And going back. Now, anytime you need more support, feel free to hold onto your chair. If you need support, you can always hold on to the chair. So going back a little bit. You might also feel a bit of a stretch here in the upper thigh when you do that. Good. One more. Good. And then just shaking the leg out. So let's move on to the left side. So just do the same here. Toes, bending, straightening, spreading the toes. Bringing all the toes to your awareness, even a little toe. Maybe pretend you can play the piano with your toes. So we can have a little bit of fun, it's not all kind of, because actually when that is, we feel a bit more at ease, and then miraculously sometimes the body can move a lot easier when we're, making a bit more joyful, the movement. So here we move the ankle joint. Both directions, nice big circles. And sometimes you notice maybe the right leg was moving a bit more ease than the left leg, or the other way around. So it's good sometimes to, always make sure we're moving both sides and just see how it is. Good. And then we bend, so bringing the toes back, and you want to stretch the back of your foot, that area here, when you push back or pull back, and then going forward, stretching into the calf, and going back, and you might also feel it here and the thigh. Stretching forward and back and forward and back, and just one more, forward and back. Good, placing the foot on the ground. Moving up to the knee now as such. So if it's okay, you lift your right leg, hold on to the back of your right thigh, and of course we also want to sit up straight. So anytime you get, remind yourself, oh yeah, sitting up straight. That's so easy to kind of collapse here. So sitting up straight. So with an inhalation, stretch your right leg, and again, let the heels stretch away. And then bending the right knee. And stretching away. And bending the knee. And one more, stretching away, bending the knee. And then just flicking it. Can we just flick the leg a little bit? As if you're kicking a ball, or that reflex when the tapped here, the leg just kicking up. Good, one more. And then give your leg a shake. Okay, good. So left side, first bringing leg up here, holding onto the back of the thigh, sitting straight and straightening up, toes pointing away. Exhale, bending, straightening and bending. Inhale, straightening, exhale, bending. One more, inhale, exhale, and then flicking the leg. So nice, loosely flicking, almost effortlessly, letting it dangle. Good, and then giving the leg a good shake. So sitting comfortable upright again. We once more bring up the right knee. This time we want to hold on around the outside of the right, the shin bone. Now, if you can't do that, you still can hold on like this, you know, so if you find that there's too much to hold on like this, maybe just leaving it here. So just holding up for a moment. So it's a real strong flexion. And then we let that go. And we bring the left leg up and bringing the knee closely in towards our chest and releasing, and again coming up and releasing, left coming up, releasing, one more the right side, coming up, releasing, and left coming up, releasing. Good. So we bring the right knee up. Now, if it's okay, maybe just hold on with your right hand onto the right knee here. The left hand can rest on your thigh. We want to kind of make a big circle here. So see if we can move the hip in this kind of circular movement. Best as we can, moving. And can we still be upright and straight? Yeah. Good, and go the other way. So change direction, go the other way, circling. Can we make it even bigger, the circle? Big circle. All around. Good, one last round. Okay. So left side, just holding on with your left hand. The right hand can rest on your right thigh, giving you a bit of support. And then circling, big circles. Big circles. Good, changing direction, go the other way, changing, big circle. So there's a lovely rotation for the hip. The hip is actually a ball and socket joint, so rotational movements are, you know, natural for the hip. Good. And okay, shaking out the leg. Now in between you might want to feel, you know, because once we go walking with the legs, of course it does a little bit, you know, emphasis on the back. So maybe just kind of a little gentle catch forward and back, just loosening out. Good, okay. And then bringing the right knee up again, holding on with both hands around the right shin bone here, sitting up straight. And then take a deeper breath in. And when you exhale, see if you can bring the knee higher up and the head towards your knee. And then we sit up again. Inhale, nice and straight. Exhale. Sitting up. And one more. Exhale. And releasing. So left side. Sitting up, holding onto the leg, breathing in, exhale, bringing the head towards the knee, and the knee a little bit higher up to your head. Inhale, straightening, exhale, straightening, and one more, exhale, straightening, and releasing. Again, you might just give the legs good bit of a shake. So there's a few more movements, you know, just going through the range of movement, because what we want to do is basically move through the whole range of movement that's possible. And if you can do that, you know, at least you know, once a day, maybe go through the full range of movement in your legs and your arms and shoulders. But if you don't have that time, then maybe at least, you know, alternate every day something else coming on. So, but you know, eventually at once a week, during the week, you have gone through the whole range of movement. That's possible for you. So another one is where you stretch out your left leg, and then you take the right toe, the right big toe, and you slide it up here. Now, some of you might need to support themselves by holding onto the chair, okay? So going down, exhale, inhale, straightening up. And when you're coming up here, and then let the knee go out a little bit. And then up and down. Coming up, hold here for a moment, let the knee go out. Coming back up, okay? And if it's possible for you, do one more, up, out, and going down. Again, give the leg a good shake. So left side, sliding up with the inhalation, let the knee go out a little bit, coming up and going down. And coming up, going out, and down. And one more, coming up, going out, and down. Shaking out both legs. And then bring the soles of your feet together. So bringing them as much together as you can and sliding the feet back. And then sliding the feet forward. Sliding them back with the soles of your feet together, knees apart, and forward. So support yourself on the chair so you're not falling off and you have a bit more kind of stability. Out, and one more. And out. Good. Again, letting the legs shake out. Bending the knees, sitting upright again. Let your right leg point forward, and then go a little bit over to the left side with your right leg, as far as you can. As you want to tip down with your big toe over to the left side, and then lifting up the leg as high as you can, and bring it over to your left side. And then we lift it over to the right side. And we lift it up and going back left. So lifting up, over to the right side. And lifting up, high lift, and left. And we do that once more, really high up, over to your right. Lifting up, and back left. And shaking out. So of course, this is also very good for strengthening the muscles. That's a really good one for your thigh muscle. You know, we need strong thigh muscles to protect our back. So it's all important. So left leg stretching out, going over a little bit to the right side with the big toe, left big toe tipping on the right side, and then lifting it high up and bring it over to your left. And then lift it high up again. Now make sure it's not straining your back. So if you need to lean back a little bit, in order to protect your back, so do that. Of course, the straighter you sit, the more your core muscles and your thigh muscles will work. Yeah, but you have to be careful. So, you know, you don't want to strain your back here. So let's do one more round. Nice big lift and over and back to the right, and then give it a shake. Good, so we take a little break. Feet flat again. Lean forward with your elbows on the knees. Maybe all that was also quite strenuous. You might feel your heart going a little bit, your breath a little bit faster, since we're doing big muscles here. So just just resting here a little bit. Head hanging down, the back nicely comfortable here, supported in this position. Maybe breathing into your lower back if you felt the last practice was very strong. Good, and then straightening up again. So we have gone more or less through all the movements in our legs. So the next ones are a little bit for strengthening, because obviously we need to also, all the muscles around here need to be strengthened. So if you want to hold on to your chair comfortably, and we're going to do the cycling. So where you lift up your right leg and you pull the toes up, and then you push the right leg forward, and you go down, and you don't touch the ground, but you point the toes down and you lift up again and straightening up. So it's like going on a bike, being on the bike, just using our right leg here for the moment, being on that bike. And we want to make big movements, so it's really big, you know, yeah, moving here. You might go back a little bit with the back to support yourself. Good. I know it's strong. You take your break if you need to, but otherwise maybe we can do 2 more. Can we do 2 more? Maybe not today, but the next time you practice. Maybe it's getting stronger each time. Good. And then shaking out the leg. Okay, I'm sure you all feel it up here. So left side, lifting up, toes pointing up first, toes pointing down, going down. Don't touch the ground if you can, lifting up. Good. So continue like this on your bike. Nice sightseeing. So take your time, no racing bike. And continue. Good. And we do 1 more. Good. Shaking out the leg. Let's go backwards on our bike. So first, lift up your right leg forward and up, and then bring the knee towards your chest, and then go down without touching the ground, straightening out and coming up. So it's as if you're going backwards on your bike. So back paddling with the bike. Good. Again, you might want to lean back a little bit just to give yourself more support. So another 2 rounds. Almost there now. Good. Well done. Left side, lifting up first. Bring the knee towards your chest, straightening out, lifting. And if possible, always move your foot with it. You know, we don't want to forget the foot or the toes. So keep going, 2 more rounds. Good, and shaking out. So you probably notice, and we're working with the legs, it gets the whole body going, you know? I mean, I can feel my breath increasing doing this, so it's a good physical workout as well. And we're gonna do another practice, which we're gonna involve our arms. So I want you to bring your arms out to the side, bend your elbows, and you're going to bring your right elbow towards your left knee. So we're gonna bring the right elbow towards the left knee and the head a little bit lower, and then we straighten up. And we bring the left elbow to the right knee and straightening up. So right elbow, left knee, straightening up. Left elbow, right knee, straightening up. Good, keep going. And each time we can go a little bit faster. So see if you can really increase the pace a little bit. You take your breaks if you need them, but this is also very good for the heart, getting us going. We all need at least once a day to get a little bit out of breath. So we're doing a bit of heart training here too. Good, if you can, keep going for another 3 rounds. Of course, take breaks if you need to. And you can build it up over time. Last round. Good. And resting. Leaning forward, elbows on the knees, relax your head. Take a few deeper breaths in and out. And actually, if you're comfortable, you might even lean all the way forward and down. You know, some of you might find that very comfortable. To have the hands actually almost down to your feet, head relaxing and the back stretching out. You might have to separate the feet a little bit to make space for your belly so that you can breathe better. So just letting the breath settle a little bit here. And then you can bring your hands onto your thighs and push yourself up. And we're going to stand up first. So coming up to stand. And you can always have your chair here. So you might push the chair a little bit forward or wherever you are, or go behind the chair. So you know, for any practice, you can always have your chair as a support. So and actually one of the practices really good for the hips is if you hold on, so if you have your right side towards your chair now. So let's have the right side towards the chair. The right hand can be here on the chair to support you. So lean a little bit to the right side and see if you can swing your left leg nicely forward and back. Now, hopefully nothing behind you there to kick. So forward and back. And you might move your trunk with it. So really nice moving forward and back. Okay, one more. Forward and back. Good. Changing over. Left, having your left side towards the chair, maybe holding on. And so moving onto your left leg and swinging your leg nicely, loosely. And you bring your trunk with you, you know, moving, swinging. Good. And releasing. Good. So then standing behind the chair here, the fingers can rest on the back of your chair. You might stand a little bit more apart with the feet so they're not too close together. And this is actually a practice strengthening our thigh muscles. So if you can, you come up on the tips of your toes. So push yourself up on the tips of your toes and then see if you can bend your knees a little bit. You only go as far as you're comfortable with, okay? Then straightening up nice and tall. Exhale, bring the heels down. So inhale, we come up on the tips of your toes. Exhale, bending the knees. Now keep them apart so they don't want to knock together. Keep them apart, holding. And coming up. Exhale, down. So we do that again. Lifting with an inhalation. Exhale, coming onto bending the knees a little bit. And see if we can stay here for a moment, breathing. And keep smiling a little bit. So strong legs here now. Holding, breathing. Once more. Good. And stretching up. And bringing the heels down. And then shaking out the legs. Coming back onto your chair to sit. You might want to sit all the way back now if you find that more supportive and more comfortable. Remember, if you need something for the feet, you can place a cushion underneath your feet. And we're just finishing our session here, sitting for a moment. So feet again well supported, buttocks well supported on your chair. The back perhaps supported on the back from the back of the chair. But at the same time, you do want to sit tall, shoulders at ease, head at ease. And see if you can relax the muscles around the legs. If you're finding, because we've done so much with the legs here now, there's a bit of kind of tightness there. See if you can release your thigh muscles a bit, softening the thigh muscles, softening the calves. Softening the buttocks. Allowing the legs now to completely rest here. Of course, you could always lie down, like, you know, we're only sitting here for this practice, but if you felt, you know, practicing at home, you could even lie down maybe on your back or bed or somewhere down on the flat floor. So that the legs can even better relax. But it's okay here too, sitting on a chair, can we relax our legs? And we finish the way we started the practice with some deeper breaths in and out, particularly breathing a long way out. So when you're ready, through the nose, letting the breath come in, filling the lungs fully up to your collarbones, from your belly all the way up to your collarbones. And a long breath out. And that also calms your heart again. So if your heart was quite challenged, the breath quite challenged, it's a great way of just calming ourselves down. So one more last round. And then just let the breath settle. Sitting here, comfortable. Awareness probably mostly in your legs for the moment, since you worked so much with the legs here. Say thank you to your legs. If you truly feel like that. It's sometimes good to remind ourselves, not always pointing out the things we can't do, but also acknowledging, oh, they're great, I can still stand up, I can move around in the world with my legs. And then bring your hands into prayer pose. And we will finish with our 3 Shantis, Shanti meaning peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So you might have enough for your session today, or you might choose to do another one that might be working on your back. There will be a chair yoga class for the back. There's a chair yoga class for the shoulders, arms, and neck as well. But don't overdo it. You might just want to take one session a day, so eventually you will have moved through the whole of your body. Thank you.